Sam's wrists ached in the glowing restraints, but she still found it funny that her alien captors thought a little pink plasma was going to break her. She winked at the big blue warden, who was so nervous he dropped his clipboard, a gelatinous thing that wobbled like a guilty jelly bean. The commander cleared his throat, motioned to the pleasure pod, and announced, "Initiate interrogation protocol 7, maximum braking." Sam grinned. "Maximum braking? Are you sure you can handle that, big guy? I've been told I'm a tough nut." A couple of the smaller aliens snickered. The commander, all business, pushed a button and the pod hummed to life, spraying fragrant mists. Sam coughed theatrically. "Is that lavender? Careful, I might fall asleep before you get a confession." A tentacled assistant scuttled over, holding what looked suspiciously like a kitchen whisk. "This is our mind meld massage device. You may break at any moment." Sam eyed the device. "Honey, if you're gonna use that, at least buy me dinner first." An hour later, the blue commander looked exhausted, his tentacles wilting. The pod had tried every pleasure it could imagine, singing odes, offering electric foot rubs, even trying a breakfast meal of scrambled neutrino eggs. Sam bit into one and made a face. "This egg is so runny it's practically a marathon." She yawned. "You call this breaking? I've had rougher Tuesdays." The smallest alien offered her a cup of something steaming and green. "We hope this breaks you." She sniffed it, sipped, and smirked. "That's not going to break me, but it might break my plumbing." "Is your toilet insured?" the commander stammered. "If you do not break, we will escalate." He gestured and a metal tray slid forward, stacked with odd gadgets. A probe that pulsed with neon lights, a set of furry handcuffs, something that might have been a fruit or a weapon. Sam stared at the array. "Wow, you folks really know how to set a mood. Which one of these is the safe word?" The tentacled assistant consulted a manual. "The word is break." Sam snorted. "That's not going to help when the real danger is this suspicious banana." The interrogation team bickered in their own language, sounding remarkably like grumpy seagulls fighting over a chip. They wheeled in a shimmering cube. The commander declared, "This is the Breaker 9000. No human has survived more than 2 cycles." Sam rolled her eyes. "Maybe because your hospitality is lethal." She was placed inside the cube, which began to vibrate. A soothing female voice whispered, "Would you like to relax, confess, or break?" Sam deadpanned. "You forgot, get the hell out of here." The cube shifted, soft arms massaging her shoulders. "We are programmed to break you with comfort." Sam stifled a laugh. "Honestly, I've had more aggressive spa days." The cube started reading poetry, a line about caressing the soul's deepest break. Sam muttered, "Careful, I might break a rib laughing." When it was clear nothing worked, the aliens conferred. The blue commander's voice cracked. "Last resort. Deploy the parasite." The assistant produced a canister and popped the lid. A small, translucent jelly blob slithered out. It blinked at Sam, then wobbled up her leg and latched onto her thigh with a delighted squelch. "What are you supposed to do? Tickle me until I break?" she teased. The blob vibrated, purring like a miniature engine. "I am Squee. I am designed to break your will and your sleep cycles. We will never sleep apart." Sam, undeterred, patted the blob. "Guess you're my new sleep buddy. Hope you don't snore." Chaos erupted. The restraints glitched. The aliens panicked as Squee glowed bright pink and Sam, using the distraction, kicked the pod door open and bolted. Down endless glassy hallways she ran, Squee clinging tight, narrating the chase in a squeaky voice. "Sam is breaking free. This is a breakout. Permission to initiate cuddle mode." Sam half laughed, half panted. "Permission denied. I've already got a lot to handle on my plate." She ducked a laser net, slid past the confused sentry, and burst through an emergency hatch, tumbling out onto a neon-lit loading bay. Squee pulsed. "We will never be broken apart." Sam groaned. "If you keep saying that, I'm going to break down and cry." Outside, a battered escape shuttle blinked like a lifeline. Sam tossed Squee into the co-pilot's seat and dove in after, slamming the hatch as alarms wailed behind her. The shuttle's AI chirped. Passenger detected, unauthorized. Breaking protocol. Sam snapped. Yeah, join the club. Protocol's been broken all day. As she engaged the thrusters, Squee burrowed under her arm, emitting a contented hum. I have successfully completed the first phase, breaking the distance. Now we snuggle. Sam shot Squee a look. Listen, I don't do cuddles on the first breakout, okay? The blob ignored her, nestling in and projecting a soothing heat. She sighed, realizing she'd swapped one captor for another, only this one came with mood lighting and a purr. As the shuttle jumped to warp, Sam eyed her new appendage and muttered. This is not what I meant by breaking free. Squee whispered. Sam, I have one mission, you must never sleep alone again. Sam rolled her eyes, finally letting herself laugh. If you're going to be stuck to me, you better at least make good coffee in the morning. Squee quivered, eager. I can learn. I break boundaries. Sam chuckled. That's what I'm afraid of. As stars streaked by, she leaned back, oddly comforted. Whatever waited on the other side, she'd face it with a clingy sidekick and a brand new meaning of break. The universe had tried to break her, but the joke was on them. She was impossible to keep apart. Sam woke the next morning to the unsettling feeling of something squishy pressed against her ribs and a high-pitched voice serenading her with off-key lullabies. Squee, her new clingy parasite companion, had apparently decided that never sleep alone meant literally never, not even for a bathroom break. Sam groaned, shifting to one side in the cramped bunk of her stolen shuttle, only to hear Squee coo. You toss, I turn. Our sleep is synchronized for maximum bonding. She muttered. If by bonding you mean body heat and mild suffocation, mission accomplished. Squee purred louder, vibrating like a portable foot massager with boundary issues. Her first attempt at normalcy was coffee. Squee perched on her shoulder as she tried to program the galley's synth brewer, but every time she reached for a cup, Squee squirmed closer, trying to learn human routines. The result, coffee spilled down Sam's shirt. Squee chirped. Hydration break! And the synth brewer begged for mercy. Sam changed shirts and tried to ignore the giggling coming from her armpit. You know, on Earth, we have this thing called personal space. Squee answered with a wistful sigh. Space is for sharing, especially when sleeping. Sam shook her head. Yeah, tell that to my last boyfriend. He snored like a broken hyperdrive and drooled like a malfunctioning coolant pipe. Squee responded by mimicking a snore so loud the shuttle's AI started a hull breach alert. Sam needed a job, and that meant interviews. She tried to look professional, even borrowing a blazer from the shuttle's lost and found bin. Squee, however, insisted on tagging along. During her first hollow interview, as the recruiter launched into standard questions about teamwork and adaptability, Squee poked its head from her collar, beamed into the camera, and announced, Sam excels at bonding. We have achieved maximum attachment in record time. The recruiter blinked, then asked if Squee could start Monday. Sam muttered, You'll have to break us apart first. The next interview was in person, at a bustling orbital office. Sam barely got through the doors before Squee decided to explore new social environments, sliding down her arm and introducing itself as Sam's emotional support organism. As Sam tried to explain her skills, Squee wrapped itself around her hand and pulsed. Sam never sleeps alone, she always brings company. The HR manager eyed Squee and whispered, Is that a metaphor? Sam blurted, Not unless you want it to be. Then mentally facepalmed as Squee nuzzled her palm, radiating approval. They were asked to leave after Squee started humming, Let's get physical, at maximum volume. Dating was an even bigger disaster. On her first date since the breakout, Sam met a cute pilot from Vega 7 who seemed genuinely interested, until Squee appeared, glowing a warm lavender, and wrapped around her waist. As they ordered drinks, Squee intoned, Sam likes to snuggle. Do you? The pilot looked horrified and ordered a second drink. Squee nuzzled closer, offering a passionate, I'm very open to new experiences. I break the ice, and sometimes the mood. Sam snorted into her glass. Her date looked for the nearest escape pod. By dessert, Squee was holding both their hands, asking questions about interspecies spooning techniques. The pilot left a generous tip and ran for the airlock. Sam decided to try the gym, desperate for a moment of solitude and sweat. Squee had other plans, sticking to her like a motivational sticker gone rogue. Every time Sam tried a new machine, Squee matched her movements, squishing under her shirt and cheering. We break a sweat together. When Sam attempted yoga, Squee tried to help her stretch her boundaries. By the third pose, Squee was tangled in her sports bra chanting, "Deeper breathing enhances sleep quality." A group of bodybuilders applauded, thinking it was a performance art piece. Sam realized she'd accidentally invented a new fitness craze, parasitic Pilates. Sleep, of course, was a battleground. Squee interpreted every change in Sam's breathing as a signal to cuddle closer. If Sam rolled over, Squee followed. If she got up for water, Squee accompanied her, humming lullabies and asking existential questions like, "What is a nightmare? Can I break one for you?" One night, desperate, Sam piled pillows between herself and Squee. By morning, Squee had nested atop her head and declared victory. "I have conquered your fortress of solitude. Our bond is unbreakable." Sam groaned. "Yeah, and so is my insomnia." Exhausted, Sam tried everything: alien repellents, energy fields, even talking to Squee about boundaries. Squee just blinked and replied, "Boundaries are for breaking. I learned from the best." Sam tried breaking up, with Squee over a cup of sin tea. "Squee, it's not you, it's me. I need space." Squee's color faded to a tragic blue, and it whispered, "But breaking up would break me, and then I'd just ooze everywhere." Sam stared at her teacup, considering the logistics of cleaning up an emotional puddle. Jobless, dateless, sleepless, and now codependent with a sentient jelly blob, Sam wondered if this was the galactic definition of rock bottom, or just another Tuesday in the human experience. As she scrolled her comms, looking for a support group, Squee pressed a tendril to her cheek. "Don't worry, Sam. No one can break us apart. Not even you." Sam gave a tired smile, realizing that while she couldn't get rid of her parasite, she could at least try to enjoy the ride. After all, she'd survived worse breakups, just never one with so much cuddling and so little sleep. VSAM had always considered herself a problem solver, but trying to break up with a parasite designed to bond for life was proving more challenging than outsmarting alien warlords. Her first stop was a space therapist's office, where she slouched in a hoverchair as a robotic counselor blinked at her and asked, "On a scale of 1 to completely broken, how attached are you feeling?" Squee answered for her, chirping, "We are inseparable. I sleep on her, she sleeps under me. Our boundaries are a work in progress." Sam just sighed. She explained the whole saga, but the therapist's best suggestion was a joint consciousness journal. Squee was thrilled. Sam just wanted a break, but that word only seemed to excite her blob. Desperate, she searched the galaxy's underbelly for solutions. A four-armed exorcist prescribed a ritual involving fire crystals and chanting breakup songs at dawn. Sam sang her heart out, off-key and half asleep, but Squee only pulsed with pride, interpreting the whole thing as a duet. Next was a cosmic divorce lawyer who promised to break all bonds, guaranteed, or your credits back. The lawyer's solution was a stack of papers, each page labeled "Break Agreement." Squee autographed every page, giggling, "I'll sign anywhere you want, except away from you." By the end, the only thing broken was Sam's patience. News of her predicament began to spread. It started small, a holonet video of Squee snuggling Sam during a conference call. The video went viral. Sam's living blanket was suddenly a meme, sparking debates about human codependency and the ethics of parasite partnerships. In the markets, plush Squee knockoffs sold out. She even found herself trending under the hashtag breakup goals. Sam grumbled, but Squee loved the attention, flashing new colors and cooing, "We're famous! Should I break into showbiz?" At an alien dating mixer, Sam hoped to meet someone immune to her clingy reputation. Instead, her arrival caused a commotion. An elegant Zorvian approached, her scales shimmering gold, and offered Sam a drink. Before Sam could thank her, Squee launched into a speech. I provide warmth, companionship, and midnight snacks. Sam is never alone, thanks to me. The Zorvian's eyes widened with admiration. Is that a genuine Squee bond? That's so exclusive. Sam blinked in confusion as others joined in, admiring her status symbol. Turns out, in certain circles, a living, breathing, never-let-go symbiote was the ultimate sign of desirability. Humans spent their lives running from codependency. Zorvians chased it like treasure. What followed was a whirlwind. Sam was invited to a panel on modern relationships, where Squee offered advice on cuddle optimization and emotional hydration. She met celebrities eager for her secret. One paid her to borrow Squee for a holo shoot. Squee returned ecstatic and covered in glitter. Dating became less about avoiding embarrassment, and more about fending off suitors who wanted to borrow her parasite for just one night. Squee puffed up, relishing the role of gatekeeper. No one gets between me and Sam, it said, echoing the possessive exes Sam thought she'd left on Earth. Sam tried a final, desperate gambit, a pilgrimage to the planet Parabreak, famed for spiritual separation rituals. There, an ancient order of monks practiced the art of solo slumber, an unbroken tradition for millennia. They bathed Sam in starlight, chanted mantras, and wrapped her in anti-cling robes. Squee simply pressed closer, whispering, Nice try. But you can't break what's already glued. The head monk declared. The bond is strong. You must accept your other half. Sam thought she'd rather accept a root canal. Back in her shuttle, Sam realized she'd never had so much attention, or so little control over her own bedtime. Fan mail poured in, everything from marriage proposals to business pitches for Sam and Squee sleep clinics. Her favorite was a message from a lonely asteroid miner. I wish I had someone who'd refuse to let me sleep alone. Lucky you? Sam stared at the words, heart unexpectedly warmed. Squee, sensing her mood, slid onto her lap and chirped. See? We're breaking barriers. Sam smirked. Breaking barriers, breaking my back, breaking my calendar. I used to be a rebel, now I'm the galaxy's poster girl for parasitic partnership. Squee gave a hopeful wiggle. You're never alone, Sam. That's worth more than any break you could take. Sam sighed. Maybe. Just promise me one thing. If I ever fall in love again, you won't try to break them too? Squee nodded. Only if they try to break us first. What had started as an epic annoyance had turned into an unexpected advantage. Sam was the most in-demand woman in 10 sectors, invited to elite parties just for her +1. At a diplomatic dinner, an Andromedan ambassador toasted. To Sam, who proves you can't break a human spirit, or her bedtime routine. She laughed, raising her glass, thinking of how every break in her life had somehow led to more connection, not less. Through it all, Squee stayed glued to her side, loyal to the last, now something between a pet, a pest, and a publicist. Sam realized the universe was full of weird, sticky, unbreakable bonds. Sometimes, you just had to stop trying to break free and see where they took you. And if you wound up a galactic celebrity with a sidekick who never let you sleep alone, well, maybe there were worse fates in the cosmos. Sam adjusted to her strange celebrity faster than she'd care to admit, though the attention was a two-edged sword, flattering and exhausting, as invitations poured in from across the sector. Galactic talk shows begged for interviews, each eager to prod the woman who couldn't be broken, and her notoriously clingy sidekick. The holonet was flooded with listicles ranking her top 10 breakthrough moments, and a synthpop band released a hit single. Break up with me, baby, but not like her. Sam found herself promoting products she never used, starring in sleepwear ads with Squee draped across her lap, and reluctantly lending her likeness to a new line of weighted blankets called Never Sleep Alone. Alien cultures, especially those who once tried to break her, responded with fascination. The Xyloxians now included a section on Sam's Law. In their security briefings, any attempt to break a human might result in unpredictable attachment, sometimes permanent, occasionally profitable. Across the station, Sam couldn't walk 3 meters without someone asking for advice. How do you keep your bond so strong? Is it true you've never spent a night apart? Does Squee really glow pink if you fall asleep first? The questions grew more personal by the day. Someone sent her a collector's edition romance novel. 50 Shades of Cling. Squee loved it, acting out passages with dramatic flourishes while Sam tried not to die of laughter. Her inbox overflowed with business proposals, sponsorship offers, and marriage requests, some from hopeful humans, most from amorous aliens who thought a 24/7 snuggle partner was the epitome of erotic luxury. One ambitious entrepreneur proposed a reality show. Can you break the bond? The prize, naturally, was a Squee plushie. Sam politely declined, but Squee fantasized about hosting, describing weekly cuddle challenges, and naptime face-offs. The more Sam tried to avoid the spotlight, the more the galaxy obsessed over her. Copycat trends appeared overnight. Humans gluing plush blobs to their hips, aliens staging fake breakups for holocred. Despite the circus, Sam found herself reflecting on the wild path she'd taken. She'd started out resisting every tie, every expectation, fighting so hard not to break that she'd missed the softer kind of strength that comes from letting go. Now, everywhere she turned, people whispered her name with a mix of envy and awe. The irony wasn't lost on her. The universe had thrown every kind of break at her, physical, mental, emotional, and all it got in return was a woman who'd redefined what it meant to survive. She'd turned a parasite into a partner, a burden into a brand, and loneliness into intergalactic fame. Squee, still fused lovingly to her side, declared one night, "They tried to break you, Sam. But you broke the rules." Squee's unconditional devotion began to feel less like a cosmic joke and more like an inside joke between old friends. Together, they read fan mail, dodged paparazzi, and made prank calls to the alien commander who'd started it all. When Sam received an honorary doctorate in unbreakable human spirit, Squee delivered the acceptance speech. "Let this be a lesson to all, never try to break what wants to bend." The applause lasted longer than most political regimes. Not everything was perfect. Sam still missed sleeping alone sometimes, and Squee occasionally forgot that personal space wasn't just a suggestion. But as the offers, headlines, and demands multiplied, she grew comfortable saying no, choosing what mattered, and trusting herself to handle whatever came next. The universe, she decided, was always going to test you, stretch you, sometimes even try to break you. The trick was remembering you didn't have to break in return. You could laugh, adapt, make new rules, and maybe, just maybe, turn a sticky situation into a story worth telling. The final twist came at the annual Unity Festival, a massive event beamed live to 100 worlds. Sam was the guest of honor, with Squee now sporting a tiny sash that read, "Ambassador of Attachment." As Sam took the stage to speak, she realized the real punchline wasn't that she'd survived, or even that she'd thrived. It was that she'd inspired 1,000 others to embrace their weirdness, to find their own strange strengths, to turn every break into a new kind of bond. As she closed her speech, Sam glanced at Squee, who whispered, "Let's never sleep alone again." She smiled and replied, "Deal. But next time, I pick the side of the bed." The crowd roared. Long after the lights faded, Sam stretched out in her quarters, Squee already curled in the crook of her arm, humming contentedly. She thought of everyone she'd met, the would-be exorcists, the starstruck fans, the aliens who once thought her a threat and now called her a legend. There was a quiet victory in all of it, a slow, steady triumph that didn't need shouting or revenge. She'd proved, to the galaxy and herself, that being unbreakable wasn't about never bending, it was about making your own rules, laughing through every test, and always finding a way to hold on, even if it meant never sleeping alone. Squee snuggled closer, pulsing gently, and Sam, feeling more herself than she'd ever been, whispered goodnight. Outside, the stars drifted on, each one a silent witness to her peculiar, impossible, wonderfully unbreakable story.